Audio rolling. Alright, so I'm still trying to decide if I want to be one of those like YouTubers who has the mic in the shot or not. Hey y'all, welcome back. If you're old, if you're new, hello. If you're new to my channel, welcome to my channel. I post a lot of videos on content creation, filmmaking, branding, fashion, and lifestyle, because those are all the things that I love and adore. So make sure to subscribe and stick to it and join the team if you, these videos are improvised, so alright you guys, so today we are going to edit photos on our phones, iPhones. I'm going to show you guys how I personally edit photos, how I edited the photos in my last video, taking photos on your iPhone, and how you guys can edit photos as well. Let's dive in. Alright you guys, so the first thing that I do when I'm about to edit my photos is go into my photos. I took some cute selfies today. These are cute, man. So I go into my photos and I find the photos that I want to edit. So typically by this time I've taken several photos, and now I just kind of go through them and put this little heart at the bottom on the photos that are my favorites. And then what that heart does is adds them now to your separate favorites album. So whenever I'm going in to any editing program and I'm looking for these specific photos, they're now in their own album, and I don't have to search for the photos or remember the exact photos that I wanted to edit. So cool. Once I have some of my favorites, let's look some more. It's cute, it's cute, it's cute. I'm like, oh my gosh, such a model. Yo, this one I called the stomach ache, and I'm kind of liking it now. I didn't originally really like it. So the first thing that I like to kind of play around with, you can skip this step if you're not really looking for too many effects and like fantasy type edits, but I was for this shoot. So I'm gonna go into Prequel. Prequel, I'm sorry, is not a free app, you guys. It's about, I think, $35 a year if you want to use it, but it is a pretty cool app. So you can do those cool like 3D photos that people have been taking in here. All these really cool like effects you can add in Prequel, and you can add them to video as well as photos. But today we're going to play around with those photos. So once I get in Prequel, it's going to automatically take me to the camera. My YouTube setup video coming soon. Alright, so I'm going to click on my little icon image at the top, and then where it says recents here, I'm going to click on it, and now, well, there's my favorites album with all the photos that I favorited for me to easily access. So I'm going to go ahead and start with, let's do this photo. It's kind of saucy mine. So it's going to load my image. How's life? Cool. What'd you do yesterday? Same thing you did for the past week? Nice. Alright, it's in Prequel. So once you get your image in Prequel, the first thing you can kind of do is play around with the crop under canvas. So you can crop it to fit a story template, you can crop it to be a square, you can rotate it a little bit, but you can just kind of crop it to where you want it. I kind of liked it where it already was, so I'm just gonna stick with that, man. Just gonna stick with that. So I'm gonna reset and check once you're done. So there's the trends, which is kind of the trendy popular filters that everyone's doing right now. There's effects, which is all of the effects they have. There's filters, which I don't use filters inside of here. I go into Visco to do my filter, so I'm gonna do that next. There's retouch, which also I use a separate app, Facetune, if I need to do any quick retouches. And then you guys can also add music. So if you want to add music to a video or something, you can make adjustments. So if you want to go in and adjust the contrast, the exposure, like the very specific things, you have that as well. So I'm gonna actually go into effects. I'm gonna skip over trends and let's try some of these out. So we have this really cool fun one that they added recently, the quarantine magazine one. So it's really cool, like they have all these different magazine covers and they're modeled after actual magazine. So you know, if you want to play around and just be on the cover of Vlog instead of Vogue, then there you go. But yeah, so that's just kind of if you really want to add like an overlay effect. They even have this one that I really like, Stay Home. I like these that kind of have the subtitles under them. I think that's cute. This one obviously turned me into an Oompa Loompa. So what I would do in this case is select that filter, and then now you can basically put how much you really want on there. So I can still keep that subtitle without having any of their filter on there. So that's something I'm going to use a lot because, like I said, I don't use Prequel's filters. Cool, so let's get out of that. And for this edit, I already know I'm going to use Disco. If you did watch my last taking and editing photos on iPhone tutorial, I believe I used Disco as well. Disco is just It's great. I love it. So Disco kind of it does add a filter to it, but it also adds these like sparkles, and then you can intensify it if you really want more sparkles. I'm cool with just that one sparkle on my sunglasses. And then I am going to reduce that filter because I want to add my own, and check. Cool. So from there, you can only add one effect at a time. So I'm going to go ahead and press the check and check again, and then go ahead and save that into my camera roll by pressing that little down arrow. Cool, saved into my camera roll. And then I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna open that photo that I just saved. So I have to go out of my favorites, back to recents, open that photo. Cool. So from there, I'm going to add another effect. So this one's really fun, plastic. You can add plastic over. I believe plastic works a little bit better if you have a closer up photo like the girl in the example, but there's plastic. Hypno I've been using a lot recently, and I really like Hypno, so I may use that for this image. I kind of like this one. I feel like I can definitely tone down the filter, but I can intensify the Hypno a little bit. Cool. All right, so I'm done with Prequel. I'm gonna go ahead and save this image as well. And now we're gonna move on to Visco, which is what I would do if I was doing a more simplistic edit. I would just go into Visco to edit that. So Visco, here we come. Here we come. Visco, here we come. Here we come. All right, so once you get in Visco, you're going to press this little plus button at the top here, and then that's where you can find your images. You'll just select import. You can't import more than one image at one time in Visco. And then from there, I just select the edit button at the bottom. On Visco, I do pay for Visco. If you guys saw in my adding color grade on iPhone video, I do pay for Visco so that I can add filters on top of videos as well to get access to all the filters. Don't really need access to all of them because I really only use like one, which is the HB2 right here, which is in my recents. As you can see, I could scroll through here and find it as well. But HB2 is just kind of my go-to. I like to maintain the same aesthetic in my YouTube videos, in my posts and everything, so that's my kind of go-to one. From there, you can tap the filter again, make adjustments if you want to pipe it down, kind of like where it's at. And then I can also click on these little adjustment gears, and this is where I would make any adjustments that I want to make to the image. And yeah, I think I really like this one. So if I want to add some grain, I have that option as well, so I can make it a little bit more vintage looking. And then from there, I'll just select next, and you can post to Visco if you want. I just saved to my camera roll. Bam, you have that image. So I'm gonna go ahead and just edit one more image, just for fun. Let's see what we got. Add some green. It's cool, it's cool. All right, save that, baby. All right, so I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. I hope you guys download Prequel, play around with it a little bit. There is a free trial. I know it's not a long one. I can't remember how long it is, but there is a free trial if you guys just want to play around and try to add some effects to your photos. There are other ways to do this alternatively in Photoshop, which I'll do more tutorials on if any of y'all do want to get more advanced and invest into Photoshop and don't want to pay for an app to do this. Then I got y'all. We gonna make it happen. But thank you guys so much for watching this video today. I hope you guys have enjoyed this Create on iPhone series thus far. I really want to get you guys creating with the devices you have now and all the time that you have now, and I really want to see what you guys make, so make sure to hashtag workthatcass if you post anything that you create. I'm gonna check it out. Peace out.